Alright, folks, welcome to episode 42 of the Wee Podcast. Phil here with Clarky.
Hello.
Today, it's a very tricky hello. Today we're going to talk about our heroes, all things heroes, fictional heroes, real life heroes, our heroes, and heroes. Woo! So,
That was really badly timed sniff in there.
that's disgusting stuff. Heroes,
Uh-huh.
any in your life, either it be fake or real life heroes, or
Real life heroes.
well, as in like literal
well-
people, not like Superman and Batman and all them ones. Even though they wouldn't be yours because
I prefer Marvel.
yeah.
But I also love the DC This is a whole other podcast. Doesn't matter. So, real life. I don't think as I've got older, my parents have never not been. But
Yeah.
also, I feel like as I've got older, I've started to realise that my granda probably is more than, like, because he's went so far and done so much
Yeah.
and lived so long, like he's 86, and obviously he was married to my nanny, or granny, sorry, the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, not the entire time,
Obviously not.
but like, you know, for a long time, like over 40 years.
Yeah.
In fact, over 50 years.
Well, that's
almost.
insane. It's a
Yeah.
long wild time. Like.
Yeah, very long time. And there's times they lived in different countries and stuff.
Well,
Like he went and worked to support the family. Basically, they lived at home because they couldn't get moved across. He still stayed and basically just kept trying for a house because basically the way it was done then was like a raffle,
yeah.
because it was like 45, 50 years ago. You know, it's so long ago. But
Wish it was something like that now. Yeah, win a house.
oh, it's because of where he worked.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like he worked in a prison at one point. But
That's
yeah.
an inmate. Yeah.
one of those like one of those people who's done. I know. Some of the stories he told you, that was class. Like there was one time he says there was a prisoner who was giving him a lot of jip, and he was just like, okay, tell you what, see the field down there. It wasn't like a max security prison. It was one of those sort of lighter security prisons where they could still go outside and stuff, but it was fenced out.
Yeah.
He was like, right, down there later on, me and you, let's go. Because that's what it was like then. He was like, me and you, down there. He didn't show up. So the next day, my granda went up, sort of like, where were you? You giving it all out there during the day? Where were you? I'm so sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. You know,
Oh dear.
stories like that though you don't hear anymore. Like, you know, so
Well, you can't do it anymore. That's the thing. Sure, you can't unless it's like there's no cameras and everyone turns a blind eye and you pay
No.
off the warden.
exactly. And then he was a painter decorator. I'm gonna see if I can quickly find you the wee picture that was, yeah, there it is there. He was a painter decorator for a long time, and also worked for the BB as well at one point.
Yeah.
So always doing something, but
Yeah.
basically all he said to me was, one piece of advice was get a trade, get something you're good at, work on it, and do whatever else you want. Basically, you would always have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
But there's one time he was working with a fella, and the fella, he says, is one of the most talented artists a grand ever seen, because what I'm going to show you, he drew with a like a workman's pencil, nothing particularly special. Granda says it took him 15 minutes, and he drew it on the back of a piece of wood. So he drew my granda in his younger days.
That's class.
Isn't that really cool?
Yeah.
So that's still my granda's house.
That's class.
So I really want it whenever it's time. I really want that.
You really want that?
Yeah, I think it's class. And it's one of those wee things, just reminds me of that wee story. But yeah, him. What about you?
Yeah, no. No. I mean, obviously, apart from your parents, like that's about it.
Yeah.
Like you've obviously said you're not going to go out of that one, so. I mean, apart from that, like, there's nothing really.
Well, certainly I haven't. I know some people that definitely have, but
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean.
Well,
It's-
yeah, in certain circumstances, of course, but
yeah.
no, I mean, if you're lucky enough to have both parents still around,
Yes, that's another thing.
and you know, then then definitely it would be them too. Yeah, they've done an awful lot in their lives that you sort of can't ignore.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
Exactly.
they tell you about it an awful lot, so you definitely can't ignore it. But no, I don't really have any heroes as such. Just people I look up to. Really, not really.
Any celebrities you'd look up to?
No,
No.
don't really see the point.
No.
Don't see the point really, because I mean, the only people I wouldn't really look up to them in like a heroic type of thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
certain band members and stuff, it just the amount of things that they just sort of.
So you'd admire them?
Yeah.
Because I would say I admire certain celebrities. I'm like, oh my word, that's class what
Yeah.
you do and what you've done. And
Yeah.
probably the same.
Stuff like that there. Not unless of course they went in and like, save like 100 people from burning building or something, then that's very different.
Alone.
But, yeah, like
Yeah.
literally alone.
With
Just
a
dragged
guitar.
with a guitar playing in the background, playing a solo after.
On the way in and the way out.
Yeah. But apart from that, then no, not really. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not really one of those sort of people.
Yeah.
Don't really have the. I think I have respect for people like, but I just.
Oh no, yeah, I know what you mean.
I just don't have that sort of awe thing. Like, oh, this guy's amazing. Literally.
Yeah.
Or this woman's amazing, whatever. But definitely parents.
person,
Parents are
yeah.
that person. I like dogs, so probably them.
Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah, probably they're my heroes. All they do
Yeah.
is they just take all the crap of the day and they're like, I'm still good.
Yeah, they're still so happy.
Yeah, I know. So that's probably about it, really. But I mean, obviously there are other heroes out there. Like we've obviously researched now, so
Yeah.
there's plenty of services and
Mm-hmm. And that's not even like what we include as always. The wee nice wee disclaimer we throw in. It's not gonna cover everyone. It's not gonna cover doctors and nurses and
but it's just basically your average Joe, like, isn't it? Really? I mean,
yeah, like I suppose this segment, if you like, is gonna be looking at, as you say, the average Joe, the guys who can't fly or punch through walls or, change shapes, whatever.
What they can do is give X-rays, so
It's true. That's
they
true.
can see through
But,
bones, or see through bones, see through people.
We can't see through.
Well, yeah, you can see through
But-
bones, yeah.
But anyway, the
Not
so basically the three that we sort of looked at the start were the emergency services. So obviously doctors and nurses and soldiers and all the people that save lives that aren't the emergency services, we totally respect you, and we just didn't have time, unfortunately. Maybe another episode. But
Maybe
anyway,
another episode, yeah. Just every single time we always say this, there's any god's amount of information on the internet. It's literally impossible to.
exactly.
You need like a research team.
Yep.
You would.
So, yeah, pretty much. It would have to be like a think tank.
Yeah.
So, but we looked up to start 999.
Oh.
So it's the oldest emergency service number in the world. It is 81 and a bit. Basically, the call handling at the very
Your
start.
granddad's older than that then.
Yeah, my granny was actually born in 1922.
Cheapers.
So believe it or not, well, she's obviously passed away. Not this January, but January before.
Yeah.
But she would have been alive 15 years before there was even 999.
That's mental. What
Yeah.
did you do back then? Just shout. Hop.
You know what? I might have to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know, because obviously my granddad would know as well.
Yeah.
Like, what did he do before? But there you are.
Mental.
Basically, the first one came around in 1937. There was 1,000 calls in its first week of operation in London, because that's where it started out.
Good grief.
Nowadays,
People trying out the numbers, see if it works.
oh, it was all done really weird. So like, excuse me, there was like a blaring horn. So obviously the way they did it then was they did the connect, So there was this blaring horn with a red, or does it say red? Yeah, like a red flashing light. It was so loud that they actually eventually were like, right, that's too loud, so they stuffed a tennis ball in it. So
I think I've watched something.
so they could still hear it, but it was like dulled, so they knew that.
I just stick that ball in it and that'll do.
It just
Engineer.
But basically, it's so they knew that, okay, this is emergency. This needs to take priority, or any other call needs to go into the thing.
Yeah.
So they took 1,000 calls in their first week in 1937, and in London alone now it is 560,000 calls a week.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. So
That's insane. That's just mad.
that's roughly 30 million calls a year.
I wonder how many people get a call. Like I wonder, like in the centre, like how many people will get a call per on their own per day.
What do you
Bound to be
mean?
loads.
As in, like, per person would make,
Yeah,
would make a call, or
no,
would like,
receive
answer
the call,
a
answer the
call?
call. So that's like loads,
well,
surely.
Probably, but if you think 560,000 calls a week, you know, for the sake of a number, it's what, 9,000, 8,000 a day. If you start breaking it down into pure numbers, it's a lot. So I would say if you're in that job, you're answering calls non-stop. But BT are the ones that run it, British Telecoms, and 97% of calls are now answered within 5 seconds, which is pretty good.
It's probably why our internet's really bad then.
Yep. Probably. They're like, oh no, well, in fairness, I would take slow internet if it meant people weren't dying. It's pretty annoying, but I would take it. 62% of people make calls straight from their mobile.
Yeah,
so
well,
the
that
vast
makes
majority.
sense. I'd be very surprised if anyone has a landline anymore. Like, really? I mean, it's
Yeah.
Funny.
I know. I as I said earlier, I have one, but I don't know the number.
Yeah, I know the number here. Like, it's just strange.
I got like the worst prank call on it once.
On your,
I answered it on a landline. I was like, hello. They're like, hello, this is your electric company. I was like, who's that? Your electric company? I was like, yeah, I know, but who's my electric company? He was like, NI Electric. I was like, okay. He goes, is your tap running? I was like, is that not water? He was like, yeah, but I just need to make sure your tap's running. I was like, okay. And I walked in and turned it on, and I was like, yeah, it works. He was like, but is it running? I was like, it works. Is your tap running or not? I was like, yes. He was like, then you better go catch it, you dick. I was like, okay. And then he was like, and then I was just like, okay, bye. And I just hung up. I was like, that was the worst. I'm not being funny. That was almost word for word. I literally went in and turned the tap on. I was like, yeah, it works. And he was like, no, but does it run? I was like, what?
That's like the one about your fridge running.
Yeah.
You better run after it, well.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I hate people that do that.
The worst. But some scary facts. So I mentioned there's about 30 million calls a year. 35% of them aren't actually requests for help. The majority of them are actually made by kids playing with their home phones or people accidentally dialing 999 in their bag or their pocket or something.
We butt dial.
Yep, by accident.
Could you imagine butt dialing 911, 999, and then what are you doing?
Do you remember whenever I worked for Santander? There was a time I was doing a conference call with like 4 different people. And
oh dear.
No, wait. Right?
Oh dear.
So it was a family, and I was helping them get something sorted out or set up. I can't remember, but literally, see, I was thinking about this is funny. I was talking to one of the guys, and I was like, okay, whatever, blah blah blah. And then next thing I heard is burp, right? and like literally, the guy, the dad, he was sort of like an Afro-Caribbean sort of accent, you know what I mean? And he was like, oh. And I was like, oh no. And I was like trying my very hardest not to laugh. And like he was just like, what? Like the mom was like, what? Because they weren't in the same room. He was like, I just farted. I was like, oh my god. And I was literally sitting there like trying to be like, oh, don't laugh.
That was terrible.
Because he was like, like laughing away, and then the mom started laughing, and everybody else. I was like, oh, I can't laugh.
That's terrible.
But, oh my word, it was one of the funniest.
I had a time on Xbox with Dean, and he did like a tripper. I was like, what's that noise in the background? He goes, I don't know. I was like, and I did it again. I was like, right, that's enough of that there. It was so funny. I couldn't imagine doing like that there, so the conference call would be terrible.
Oh, it was,
not having to laugh. You had to like mute yourself and like cry over the phone.
I'm not being funny. There was points where I was like, you know, like doing this, or like, do not laugh. You can't laugh.
No.
But oh my word, it was so funny.
I'd have been in tears.
It was really funny.
On the floor laughing, ruffle.
Oh my dear. Oh. Dear. Anyway, I could laugh at that for so long. My face sort of hurts even thinking about it. So, when do you think peak times are? And I don't mean like New Year's Day. I mean like standard week peak times.
Probably between 5 and 12. Surely. Morning times. Is it?
Shortly after midnight on a Friday and Saturday, there are around 5,000 calls an hour.
Ah, that makes sense. I would assume the majority of them are like they're all like drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, I mean there'd be fights and stuff and all that sort of stuff.
But do you remember that guy that went to court over killing someone?
What?
Yeah, like there was a drunken fight outside a bar in Belfast. I'm pretty sure.
What they do?
He punched him and he fell and hit his head off a curb or something. And
Oh,
died.
one of those one punch things.
Yeah, and he died.
It's horrible.
And then he was like, it was self-defense, but people were like, well, you punched him first. So technically it was murder.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not murder. It's what do you call it? Manslaughter.
Yeah.
Accidentally kill someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrible. This
What?
took a really dark turn.
It didn't.
It did.
It did not. It
Some
just
guy's just been one punched to death,
Falcon punch.
like a titan. But what do you call it?
That's dreadful.
Some scary facts we read about the amount of people that are in our services, and this is 2 of these in Northern Ireland. Unfortunately, one of them's UK wide. Couldn't get the figure anywhere for love nor money. But police, there are 6,570 total officers in this country. That's full time. There's also 279 constables. This is accurate as of September, so this month.
Oh well, this month? I
yep.
thought it would have been last year at least.
There's 92 current student officers, so they're not even qualified.
No.
5,015 constables, 976 sergeants, 331 inspectors, and so on and so forth. Basically, they start going down in number to quite small.
Yeah.
But included in that 6,570 are all the management level officers, but they're also expected when needed
Yeah.
to go out and
and
cover.
I'm still sort of baffled by that number.
It's
It's
so
very, very small.
It's
minute
so
number.
low.
Compared to
for-
you think compared to the people that actually live in Northern Ireland, how many like per
per
yeah.
capita per person, like how
Mhm.
many police officers there are, it's next to none.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that's bad. The firefighters is even worse. So, Northern Ireland Fire and Rescue Service. There are 68 stations across this country.
Woohoo!
So there are, let's see, 45 retained stations. So they're ones that basically are there for part-time firefighters whenever they're called. I think Carrick potentially one of those as well.
Yeah.
There's 7 full-time in the country. Not joking.
7
7,
in the
full-time
entire country.
and that's when the full-time firefighters are on in the station 24 hours a day. There's 7 of them. Okay.
That's insane.
There are 7 whole-time and retained, so they're a mixture of always there and people will also come down. That could actually be the one in Carrick I'm thinking of. But basically, so far that means that there are 14 that are 24-hour manned.
Yeah.
There's 7 that are variable crewed, so basically there's full-time firefighters there between 11 and 11 a.m. and 11 p.m, so 12 hours. And then the retained firefighters are the guys that work in the community but would also, like, for example, would be like a postman,
Yeah.
but then would also go out on call when needed to the fire service.
Yeah.
They cover during core hours, and then also they go to the emergencies first outside of the 11 and 11.
That's mad.
There's one whole time station which is like defined hours. It doesn't say what they are here. There's one volunteer, so that's Rathlin Island. So that's manned entirely by volunteer firefighters, and there are only 112 frontline fire appliances,
That's insane.
and that doesn't include any that are in training or any reserves basically.
Well, at least we know why Primark burned down anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, that's just the stations. So in terms of pure number, there are 917 full-time firefighters,
Less than 1,000. Like.
994 retained part-time firefighters. So those are the guys that would come in when
Yeah.
necessary. 12 volunteer firefighters, which I'm assuming are the guys in Rathlin Island. 58 regional control centre staff. They're the guys who answer the 999 calls.
Yeah.
And there are 261 support staff as well. They're like caretakers and stuff like that.
That's insane. You wouldn't think that at all.
So part-time, full-time and volunteer altogether is just over 2,000, which is less than a third of the police.
That's mad.
Yeah.
That's absolute madness.
It's nuts. If you think of how important they are and how many lives they'll save, not even just separately but collectively as well. You know, if there's a really bad car accident, for example,
Yeah.
they would help and
Yeah.
each other. They would cooperate and whatever. So we'll move on to the paramedics. This is the one that I could only find UK wide, but basically in 2010, there were 19,000 paramedics employed in the UK. That jumped way up to 32,000 in 2013, and it is down again to 26,000 UK wide in 2018. Now, if you think of how many police officers alone there are in this country, so 6,500, I would highly doubt we have anywhere near that number of paramedics.
Probably not.
If you think there's only 26,000 UK wide,
yeah,
I would assume there are the vast majority of those in the mainland.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as I say, I don't even want to hazard a guess because it'll frighten me if I ever find out the real figure, but I would be very surprised if the figures didn't show something as scary as 900 to 2,000, whatever 2,000 the firefighters were. Would not be surprised with something similar for paramedics.
It's sort of a...
And these are the guys that literally, if you call and you really need their help, they literally will be there in as quickly as they can. They will do literally everything for you. Certainly I know like a friend who's in the police, that they don't just be like, oh, by the way, this terrible thing's happened to your family, we've sort of cleaned it up, so well done, thanks, so you deal with it now. They carry you through that journey to the end. They'll take you from and they'll take you from when the incident happens all the way through to basically all that one person is trained can do. They'll be their point of contact if ever there's anything they need and all that sort of stuff. So it's not just like the job ends when the incident ends. There's more, and certainly tragic ones anyway. But and again, equally, I know, as I say, the reason I used the postman firefighter thing earlier on was because there was a guy who used to live up my street. My friend's dad was one of the guys in Carrick, and he would get up in the morning, go on his post round. He would be away from 5 earlier. I would see him if I was ever going to work. When I worked in the Spar, I would be leaving 5:30. He'd be out walking the dog, just about to go to work. He would then come home, and if he was called out, he was out. That was him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just goes to show,
and you can't say no. That's the thing. You have to go if you're called.
Yeah.
And he could again be up at 5 the next morning. He might get 2 hours sleep, and
credit themselves, because they're not an awful lot. And
and other people we're not mentioning, carers that go into people's homes and look after them.
Yeah,
they're really important too.
There's any god's amount of things out there that we would.
So many are just going to pop into my head, but anyway.
They all deserve it. They all deserve recognition, regardless of what they all.
They are the real MVPs, aren't they?
No, it's true though, because obviously.
No, seriously, yeah.
It is true. Whenever families can't do certain things, obviously the carers can go in and
exactly.
People that, especially for my mum and even like Lauren as well, sure they cook and stuff for them as well, which is also
very kind of them.
Very kind. They get paid for it. It's not like it's
sort of
thing. But
obviously, sort of the police and the fire brigade.
But it is different.
Paramedics.
You wouldn't think there's a job out there and there's like a rewarding job,
Yeah.
Whereas those sort of jobs would be the rewarding jobs, and you go.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but
obviously they come with their, these people.
They have ups and
firefighters. They paramedics, police. They put themselves in the front line of everything. They are in a selfless job. There's no, oh, look what I did today, this is great. It's,
well, you will get some.
Oh, probably.
You will get some, but the majority of the time, no one joins the police and all that. And be like, I'm going to gloat all the time.
Yeah.
And be like,
this country probably shouldn't say anything about it, but
No, exactly. You shouldn't be saying a thing.
But it does come down to, we obviously went through who our heroes were and mentioned how there were people who look up to in terms of celebrities and obviously our own families and all the rest, but then you'll they're so often overlooked. The average Joe that would go out and maybe there might be a day where all that a fire officer does is some paperwork, or I don't really know what else they do, or for example, because they're probably more prominent at the moment, police officer, you might see them just out in the beat. You might just go walking around, but they're a presence, so you can see them.
You would rather see them than not see them. especially for the amount of numbers you just read out there, you'd be surprised to see anything.
Exactly, and And then obviously it goes to the other end of the spectrum where you see, you know, the firefighters at the Primark fire. You see, you know, RTs, the road traffic collisions, the terrible accidents that the paramedics have to go to, or, you know, the murders that the police and everyone gets involved in, and you know, the things that are just really messed up that the average person never sees.
Exactly.
That those people are out there. They are doing things that probably go under the radar. Like, I know a lot of...
Unless it's on the news, you don't hear about it.
Exactly. I mean, like for example, whenever I was in work this morning, I heard about a security alert in up near Pole Glass. The only reason I knew there was one is because somebody lived up there. It wasn't in the news. They were just dealing with it.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, I know obviously whenever it's news, it either has to be... Well, it's never really good news, but it was
No.
always usually is bad news to make the news, and it just goes to show that the amount of the severity of the situation we have to make the news is just insane.
Yeah,
an awful lot of things just don't seem to get out there.
And
unless you know someone, and that's it. Like
exactly.
you said, like there's no...
You just don't know.
Exactly. You're not going to hear about it ever.
Some of the stuff is really horrible. I mean, like... But then again, as you say, a lot of it is very fulfilling. Like, I'm sure some of the people in the emergency services will be like, you know, or where anyone that helps anyone, let's be honest, anybody that does anything in the, you know, as you say, doctors, army, whatever, all these sort of people, carers, they'll all have a sense of job satisfaction that I don't think you could really probably understand unless you were in that job.
100%, yeah.
You know, but yeah, they are unsung, I'd say.
Unsung heroes.
Yeah. You never really, like, if you think about it, you, like,
it is very
name
true.
one police officer, legitimately.
What's your dad's name?
You know what I mean? Name one.
I do know a couple, but I can't name them.
Well, let's say name one that's out in the public eye.
The fella that was on the news.
Yeah, like, it's like George Hamilton was like a chief constable, and so like you know, you don't know about the 6,000 constables. Well, you might know a few, but you know, you don't know about all the ones that have to deal with the riots, or all the ones that have to deal with, you know, the horrendous...
I think it's pathetic we even have to deal with riots anymore, to be honest.
Well, exactly, but I mean, obviously we're not the only country with them, but we're the only country that seems to have them every year.
Every other week.
But
But
you know,
cut down now, like.
as I say, they're unsung. They go about their job. They do overtime. They help. They probably go through the mental ringer, for a want of a better term.
More than likely, yeah.
And yeah, this one, I suppose, that segment, I suppose, goes out to them, doesn't it?
It is tough, like, but I mean, I just wish we would have some sort of more record. I mean, we do have, like, you know, Armed Forces Day and stuff for them, but are there any services days?
I think so.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Just goes to show I don't really know an awful lot about them then, because
I think there was one fairly recently.
For what? For the services. To services days, they'll have all three in one then.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
I think it was fairly recently. I would have to Google it, but I can't really remember when it was, but I'm fairly sure.
Oh. Well, I suppose it's good that we have that, but I don't think it's really pronounced over here. Like I said, I don't think.
The only reason I knew it was there was because of Facebook. Otherwise, I wouldn't know.
I suppose unless you actually Googled it yourself, you wouldn't really know anyway. Like, and then Facebook again is also pretty. Oh, I have to admit though, because see that on Facebook, the PSNI things, the pages they have.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever writes them or witty as anything. Have you seen some of the
they're
posts?
brilliant. They're brilliant. But you know they do them off duty. They're not in work when they post those, because every single time that they did ever post them in work, they were like, "Oh, what are you doing? We're not." 1st of September 2018 it was. I knew it was recently.
There you go then.
But anyway, no.
We weren't even here.
No, we weren't. But so basically, excuse me, I've lost train of thought entirely. Try me again.
Try and put another quarter in you.
I got lost.
No, we've already said about the Armed Forces Day.
That's what put me off.
What was it, September 1st?
Yeah. And then you're like, we were away. I was like, yes, we were. Where was I?
I was at Lanzarote. Oh my god. Nah, I've lost the train of thought.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Have you any more on that?
Any more than the NHS?
Or the national the services? You want any more?
No, you were the services man. I was the celebrity man and the average Joe the average Joe real life hero
the stories. Okay, cool. Well, that's what's coming up.
That's what's up next. There's loads.
We'll Marvel or DC.
What do you think? I'm not gonna be DC, am I?
Drums. No.
Drums.
You're gonna be Marvel.
Yeah.
So, who's your favorite Marvel hero? Do you have one?
Thor.
Thor. Nice.
You don't have one from Thor though, do you?
Sorry.
You don't have one from Thor though,
I do.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Mm-hmm. So.
Oh no, you do. I know you do. Of course you do.
Basically,
Has to be from Thor.
Oh, there's definitely one from a lot of different heroes here.
He's
So
the best
basically,
man. He's the best man ever.
Oh, he's class.
He is.
He's very cool. And also Norse related, so I probably could have guessed that very easily. I would catch it. My reflexes are too fast.
All right.
Drax.
Yeah.
No, anyway, so what we did at this point was we looked up heroes that kids have, and then it led us to basically how heroes, these are fictional heroes, like the likes of Batman, Superman, etc., how they all have actual meanings.
Who?
What?
No.
Yeah, that's where we're starting.
No.
So basically Batman, he is the sort of message for anyone really, I suppose, is that anyone can be a hero. You don't have to be born with superpowers to be a hero. He can't fly, he's not part god, he doesn't transform when he's angry, he just fights bad guys, and he's also rich. So that obviously helps.
He can glide though.
Yeah, but so could you if you had a glider.
And I had like $3 billion or whatever he's worth.
Yeah, or probably more.
Yeah.
Superman, I don't know how much I agree with this one, but just going to read it anyway, is don't reveal your weaknesses. He's a great role model. He's an all-round nice guy. He's practically perfect in every way. He makes a crucial mistake though. He tells everyone the kryptonite thing, don't advertise your weaknesses. Now, I don't know how much I agree with that, because I almost feel like you sort of need to tell some people so they know what you might struggle with.
Well, certainly in your job you would need to do that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel like hiding what you're...
But I think that sort of means in, like, you know, personal relationships and stuff. Like, obviously if you're in... Sometimes friends, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be like...
Oh no, I'm not saying like I would come up to you and be like, oh, I have a really bad thing for XYZ, and be like, oh look, here's all my stuff that I'm just gonna spill over my
portfolio.
Guts. You know, it's like, but what I mean by I don't know how much I agree with that is like, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying you're struggling.
Yeah.
Or I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I'm not good at this.
Yeah. Because you do get better, you will learn.
You know, you can.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much I agree with that one, but the rest.
Then again, he said he was perfect as well. It wasn't perfect.
Superman?
Yeah.
He basically can't be hurt.
But he's not perfect.
Sort of is.
He's not. He's a kryptonite fiend.
No, basically the way he's sort of portrayed to kids is that, you know, he's this god, I suppose, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he was he? Is he not a god? He's not. He's
no,
not
no, he's like, just a Kryptonian alien. Yeah. The Thing from the Fantastic Four.
The best man ever in that show.
A sense of humour goes a long way, is his message. So basically the Thing, for anyone who doesn't know what he looks like, he's not exactly a looker, he's a big sort of rock thing.
He is the Rock.
Yeah, he's not particularly good looking.
Yeah.
But he makes up for it with a great sense of humour. If good looks aren't your strength, try to be funny.
I don't think he's that funny though.
He's probably more funny in the comics than he would be.
But he's not.
Comes off with his wee things.
He's not.
Thor is the next one.
Oh, best
Only
man.
those worthy of power actually should possess it.
Which is very true.
On Mjolnir, it has engraved whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor. Kind of a sword in a stone type thing as well. And basically, only those that are worthy and good should really be the ones that are trusted.
Well, it makes sense.
But it's just a shame that's not the way the world is.
No, you don't see some mad people in Apollo, do you? Like, that's the thing. Like,
unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, you have someone that's in part at the minute as a bit of a pleb, but you know.
Several. Professor Xavier or Professor X. So he's obviously differently abled, but is he disabled? Obviously not. He's a paraplegic, but he possesses one of those powerful mutant minds of all time. So brains over brawn would be his message.
And he has that big, massive, what do you call it as well? What do you call
Cerebral?
it? That's the one.
Cerebrus?
So I think it's Cerebrus, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. He puts the helmet on.
Yeah, and he goes.
Yeah. Robin, so of Batman and Robin.
No, you can skip that.
Basically, you don't have to take center stage. That's a nice wee message.
Yeah, but
Robin always gets it done in his capacity as a sidekick. Some folks are just destined for sidekick right now. I don't agree with that either, because I think
just destined for second best. That's
I just
awful.
think that's sort of rubbish, because what somebody else might consider second best could be as good as you got, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be the best at everything. You're going to probably be the best at, or really good at something. You're going to really suck at others, and that's just the way it is.
That's a stupid thing to say, that.
Yeah. So I like the whole you don't have to take center stage, but I think the end of it's stupid, because I don't think.
But then sure he takes over anyway, so it's fine.
But that's anyway. Again.
But he does. So.
Okay, Captain America, exemplifies the best of humanity. He's selfless, brave, high-minded, and thoughtful. So his message would be, just be a good person, do what's right, and stand by your values.
But then again, was he before he became Captain America then?
Yes, he could do this all day.
Talking so much arse.
So then we got the Justice League, which is choose your friends wisely. So do you want to be part of the Justice League or the secret society of supervillains? Are you Team Avenger or Team Masters of Evil? Choose your friends wisely, because they do have an impact on your life, which I think would wholly agree with.
Yeah, definitely.
You've got to pick the ones that are going to benefit you and not worry about the others, because you're not losing out on anything.
I just pick people that I think are beneath me, and that's how I get friends.
The Hulk is control your temper.
To be fair, that's hard. That's easier said than done. Like,
see, I also prefer the whole side of the Hulk where it's like you can make the best of what you have.
Yeah.
You know, that sort of message. I quite like that as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with Bruce Banner becoming the Hulk, because the Hulk does good things too.
Yeah, of course it does. Sometimes he cries.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
The sun's getting real low. So the good outweighs the bad. So Tony Stark does lack his discipline. This is Iron Man, sorry. Yeah. Tony Stark lacks discipline, but he tries hard to overcome the worst parts of his personality. With his genius and good intentions, and Pepper Potts also helps. Because if you think Avengers 1, what does he do? He's ready to kill himself. He flies a nuke into space.
Yeah.
Avengers 2, same thing. He's willing to sacrifice himself. Avengers 3, he almost does. Sorry, anyone hasn't seen it. He almost does, but it's been out for ages. It's your own fault. Hawkeye, people can change. So Hawkeye was initially inspired by Iron Man to become a hero, but then he became a criminal to impress. This is comics. Then he became a criminal to impress Black Widow, and then eventually he in the comics dies, but then comes back again as a hero, gets reborn. And then the one that everyone in the entire world will probably know is Spider-Man. Do you know what quote I'm gonna say?
Just be the.
No, Uncle Ben, please don't die. No, seriously. What?
Just be the friend in the neighborhood, man.
No.
I have no idea what it would be.
With great power comes great responsibility. Do you remember he says that, his uncle, in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? And then he gets shot and it's really sad. No?
No.
Well, he does. He says, just remember, Peter, with great power comes great responsibility. And basically, it's just a nice wee thing to remember, that those with influence and...
But that's not just Spider-Man, that's every superhero.
Yeah, but it's in Superman. Or sorry, it's in Spider-Man. It's
in
in Spider-Man.
It's in literally everyone.
The quote itself is in Spider-Man, so it's just a nice one to remember. And I think it brings us nicely into your celebrities.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to read them all, obviously, but I'm going to read some that we would probably know more about. We know, obviously, Michael Rappaport from Atypical.
What else is he in?
He's in like a few films and stuff. He was in Friends as well, sure.
Yes, he's Mike. No, he's not Mike. He shoots the pigeon out the window and Phoebe's disgusted.
Well, okay then.
Who is it that shoots?
He's the police.
He's the police guy, and he shoots the bird out the window.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name's Michael Rappaport. I don't know his name in that. I can't remember.
Mike's Paul Rudd.
Mike's Paul Rudd. Yeah.
Silly me.
Yeah. Right. I think he's in there for like 1 or 2 episodes though.
Yeah.
But he stopped a man from opening the emergency door on a flight.
Why the fuck would anyone want to do that? What's out here? Oh!
Maybe it's really warm. I don't know. I mean,
anybody else roasted?
Open the door there. Let's see what it's like. It could read this little blurb thing on it. Says the flight attendants were gathered at the back of the plane. So Rappaport ran to the man and pinned him against the seat. When interviewed by authorities, the man said he thought it was the bathroom door.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because a big exit, emergency exit on the door. That's a bathroom, isn't it? I need it. It's an emergency. I need the exit, something.
Is it just out here in the way?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay.
See it the Deliveroo cyclist from Four Mothers.
Deliveroo cyclist.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder if he took the pizza and was like, bye.
I knew it was pizza. Could have been steak. Could have been.
That's true. They don't just deliver pizzas.
No, they deliver literally everything.
Literally.
Nice. You can ask Deliveroo to go to a restaurant and get you something.
I always think that'd be a pretty fun job.
Yeah, because you could eat it and then.
I need another one.
So hungry, so sorry.
I only worked one shift, but I got like 5 takeaways. It was worth it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. He says the delivery guy. Yeah.
No, what do you think it's gonna be? Why would you think it'd be a fun job for him?
Because it would sort of be like outdoorsy and exercisey. Another ease that I'm probably gonna add on for no reason.
Exercisey. I suppose it would be like, but then you're in that silly costume all the time as well. Sorry, uniform.
Is there a uniform?
Yeah, it's like a little blue and black uniform. It looks like Noonan's in the security firm.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Are they security firms? They're cleaners.
Noonan?
Yeah.
They're security. There's a lot of things, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I know who you're talking about. Anyway.
Tesco Security's Noonan as well.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know it. Yeah.
You know John Malkovich, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. He stopped the man from bleeding out.
That's class.
I don't understand. Like, I mean...
Can you imagine waking up and being like, who helped? Oh, it's John Malkovich. Ha! No, seriously?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Write a report. Well, do you want me to say about John Malkovich, or...
That'd be mad, wouldn't it?
I just think it's crazy that
I feel like he's a bit of a badass as well.
Yeah, he is sort of mental in his films, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like... I remember, watching in Thingamajig, Johnny English, and that, he was like, it's like such a funny film. He's like, no.
But even in that, he's quite...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just like, no. Not funny.
Sign it.
Yeah.
And the dog. The wee dog in from where? No,
What?
The guy holds the gun to the head of the corgi and she signs them.
Yeah. Per Queen. Tom Hardy.
Okay.
Also another legend, played Venom as well.
England's sweetheart, yeah.
Yeah, he just like basically nabbed a runaway thief, basically. Just.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I know that. I've definitely heard that before. That's class.
Yeah.
Imagine being taken down by Tom. I don't think you'd be annoyed.
Thanks, mate.
Whoa.
I'm going my separate ways. God, be good. It says here, Tom Hardy chased after 2 thieves who stole a moped and crashed into a car. One of the thieves remained at the scene, but the other fled. Hardy ran after him, dragged him into a bus stop, and patted him down to make sure he didn't have any weapons before handing him over to the police.
That's so cool.
Says it was mental, like he'd switched to superhero mode in an action movie. Could you imagine? But maybe that's what like prepares
That's
you
what I
for
was about
that.
to say. Like, surely that would put you in the mind of like running after. Like, there was one time as well, a guy tried to steal something from Sainsbury's. My dad was on the way in. He just booted the legs out from under him, just out of instinct.
Mm.
I think it was a Blu-ray player, and they were like, "Do you want it?" My dad was like, "Well, no, because he was trying to steal it."
Do you want it?
Yeah.
No.
They were like, as way of a reward, do you want this? And he was like, no.
I've got a PlayStation, mate, don't worry about it. It's alright. Tom Cruise.
Okay, I can imagine he'd be ready for anything.
Yeah, helped a victim of a hit and run.
Cool.
Not a big, like a...
Yeah.
Good grief. A $7,000 medical bill.
Did he pay it? Tom Cruise?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, he did. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
That's insane. $7,000. Yeah, no problem, mate. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, sure, he'd probably pay that thousands of times over.
Right enough, actually. I suppose it was his last film as well. He broke his ankle or his foot or something.
So rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a pretty cool one. Kate Winslet helped save Richard Branson's mother from a fire.
I wonder, is that like a building on fire, or was she like losing her balance, about to fall backwards into a fireplace, and she was like, "Oh,
Hi, and
you never know."
oh,
Richard Branson's not young.
I don't think it was like 2011.
Still.
Lightning struck Richard Branson's set. Of course,
Oh, flip! This is way better than a fireplace.
Lightning. That's terrible. Someone could have died.
Well, no one died.
Lightning struck. Well, someone did actually. So.
Seriously?
No, no one.
Oh right. Oh.
Lightning struck Richard Branson's $70 home.
He lives in a big box. Big Amazon box.
$70 million home.
Does it say where?
It says in the Caribbean.
Oh,
So
nice.
2011 it was as well.
Caribbean.
Setting it ablaze, according to people.
Okay.
Kate Winslet and her family were staying there along with Branson and his family, totaling 20 people.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Why?
How do they know each other?
Probably through different
The
things.
Titanic. What?
The Titanic.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's not an actor in that.
No, I don't think so. Richard Branson?
Kate Winslet.
Yeah, she was. I don't think he was, though.
He was probably bought it or something.
He bought Titanic.
Yeah.
All escaped the fire unharmed, including Branson's mother with Winslet's help. Many thanks to Kate Winslet for helping to carry my 90-year-old mum out of the main house
told
to
you she'd
safety.
be old. Told you. So when was this?
2011.
So she'd be 97 now.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's crazy, like, isn't it?
Good job, Mrs. Branson, if you're still kicking. That's ancient.
I think it's mad. John Krasinski, see the woman from Drowning in Costa Rica?
I like him.
Yeah,
he seems like that type of guy who would do that. Have you watched Jack Ryan?
No, Dad has though.
What do you think?
He said it was alright.
Okay.
He said it was good action, but I mean...
I might watch it, because it's another wee program I want to sort of start.
Then again, Dad's the sort of fella, it's like, you know...
We're not bagpipes.
That's crap. That's crap. That's crap. That's crap. You know, so that's what he says.
I was alright.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. But this one sort of surprised me. Harrison Ford volunteers as a search and rescue pilot and has saved quite a few people in that way.
I know he flies.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's crashed a few times recently.
Oh, has he?
Crashed in a golf course during, like, by accident during the filming of, I think it was 7. Obviously, he wasn't in it. So.
But he is quite...
He's old, like.
He's old. He's quite
70s.
old, isn't he? Yeah.
70s, yeah.
Oh, 70s? 70s? Oh.
Say only. It's quite old.
Oh, my dad's like 63.
But I would take 70s. If I'd be cool with 70s. If I make the 70s, I'd be pretty happy. Like.
Yeah. Well.
But like, if you think about it, like he's been. You feel like he's been around for so long.
Which he has been.
Yeah, but like I mean, like in terms of like films.
Yeah.
That whenever you watch the films, you're like, he's still so young.
Yeah.
And then you see him, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, I know.
Even you're not anymore.
The newest film as well, the way he was moving.
Yeah.
Quite robotic.
Well, he did also break his leg in that film.
Yeah, the door.
Yeah, crushed his, and then it hurt J.J. Abrams' back because he tried to lift the door off, and it hurt his back.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
like,
it's a whole big disaster. Yeah.
Jimmy Fox put a man in a burning car.
Cool.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're talking about this one earlier on about Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Volunteered by firefighters in the aftermath of September 11th.
I love that story. That's class.
I think it's pure classic because he was obviously a firefighter before, like 1980 to 84 or something.
Yeah.
And then
so cool.
He just sort of like, yeah, I'll just bring it back here and just do what I used to do.
I read a really horrible estimate the other day about 9/11. Apparently, they're expecting there to be a quite massive lung cancer epidemic in 2041. 40 years after
because of the smoking.
Because of what happened, yeah. Because of they're expecting there to be a lot of. Well,
it's crazy.
Really, like a big peak in it, basically, around 40 years after. Which is horrible, but there you are.
That's crazy. Like, I think this one's pretty cool. I read this one. There's a couple of like other like real life ones. Clint Eastwood saved the choking man using the Hamlet maneuver, right?
That's class.
Yeah. So it was at a golf tournament in California in 2014 when the event CEO Steve John began choking on a piece of cheese. Yeah.
I don't know why it's funny.
The caramel, the caramel pine coating was the.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that's not the actual cheese. That's the people.
Oh, I think you were telling me it was a caramel.
Cheese.
I thought it was going to be like a type of cheese, but caramel sounds amazing.
But listen to this, right? So Eastwood, who was 83 at the time.
Sorry.
80...
I got that so wrong.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that journalistic. Who was 83 at the time, performed the hang maneuver, lifting John into the air 3 times before expelling the food from his throat.
He is a big man, though, Clint Eastwood.
He is, but he was 83.
Yeah, I reckon he still kick my head in.
Probably, like,
He's
yeah.
big, like.
But I mean, I think that's pretty mental.
That's
83
class.
years old is like,
very cool.
I can still save lives.
You're usually slowing down at that.
He's done, like. But I think this is quite a cool one for sort of religion. I know we don't really bring religion into things, like, but these are all from 2017 because 2018 hasn't ended yet. But there probably will be a list at some point in 2019 about it. But Muslims raised money to help Jewish institutions that were attacked, which is I think is pretty cool.
Where?
In Philadelphia.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
after Jewish cemeteries in Philadelphia and near St. Louis, or St. Louis, is it St. Louis?
Yeah, I think it's St. Louis.
Were vandalised and bomb threats were made at community centres and day schools. Thousands of Muslims and others donated more than $136,000 for repairs.
That's kind.
I think it's kind of cool. Like,
that's a community thing. I like that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. A man threw himself at a gunman who had killed an Indian immigrant.
Why the hell?
Don't know. There's really some strange ones. Like people made an awful lot of money for a reward for him as well, which actually gave him a new home. He was able to buy a new home after that.
That's good.
This one here wasn't actually. I remember to hear this one on the news. Almost man-eated children would in the terrorist attack in England. Do you know the
Manchester guy.
Manchester bombing.
Yeah, I remember he was on the news.
He was like, I'm not a hero.
I remember that.
But he says he remembers having to bring out like pull nails out of children's faces and stuff.
Do you remember what he was caught doing?
No.
Stroke wallets.
Oh, was I?
Uh-huh.
No way.
I think he was caught stroking a wallet or a purse or something.
That's terrible.
I just want to double check that while we're talking, but I think so.
I think that's terrible. Like, but I mean, fair enough. He did help people at the end of the day. Like, he did some good out of doing some bad as well. I suppose. Like, I don't think it's. I think people would rather.
Manchester attack hero admits stealing purse and mobile phone.
Well,
so what he did was good because he still helped, but he shouldn't be at that.
No, you shouldn't be doing that. I mean, if you're homeless, then all you got to do is really try and stay away from doing worse things.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say, but I remember reading that after and going, oh, you've sort of ruined it a bit. But at the same time, if what he did save lives and did help people, then great. I mean, I think it's unfair to say that what he did was in any way lessened by doing something wrong.
Yeah, I certainly think
still did some good.
I certainly think it's okay. I mean, not that he obviously stole things, but
yeah,
he helped people, so it outweighs the bad.
Yeah, no, exactly.
An illustrator from Colombia jumped onto the subway tracks in Manhattan to help a homeless man who had fallen over.
Oh no, that would have been scary.
Mm-hmm.
They're electrified, like.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Well, in Manhattan anyway, I would assume it would be. Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, he says if nobody does anything, he's going to die. I was like, oof.
Fair.
Yeah, fair play to him for doing that. This one's kind of cool. Female inmates in California signed up to fight wildfires at times risking their own lives.
That's scary.
Around 250 women take part in the program. They are paid less than $2 an hour for hazardous and backbreaking work. Mm-hmm.
That's scary. Fair play to them again, because giving back is what I suppose they sort of, without this sounding horrible, they sort of owe if they've done something wrong.
Mm-hmm. $2 an hour as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's money saved up for them leaving. If they did 200 hours labour and whatever long time they're in there, they're going out $400 in their pocket.
Yeah.
So. But again, very nice of them to do that.
Yeah, it's an awful lot of.
That's dangerous. So
wildfires kill an awful lot of
dangerous.
people. But then again, if you're in prison, then I mean, like I know it's probably one of those mental thoughts. You're like you're in prison, so like what can I do to do something? This one's kind of nice, I suppose, and it's not like it depends on how you look at it. It is a heroic sort of thing for someone to do, but a woman who overcame a tough childhood adopted and raised 3 foster children to her own, so she basically just, for 3 children to have lost, which then is pretty cool for her to be like, yeah, I've had a really crappy life. She could have just been like, I'm just going to be by myself the entire time and been like, I don't care about anyone else.
Yeah, but
she's went and raised
didn't want other people to be like that.
Well, the thing is, like, they're not even her own kids, so she's using her own money to fund their food and their education and stuff as well, which is kind of cool.
Kind of.
Another one, a ballet dancer jumped on the subway track to demand the safety as well. I just think it's crazy that anyone would even attempt that. Like, and obviously if you're
in the heat of the moment, you just don't know what you're going to do, because it is either stand there and watch someone die or do something about it. Yeah,
it's also, some people also tend to freeze though as well.
Yeah. And
they're just like, that guy's in the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And you just
what's he doing down there?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be down there.
And you shout at him, what are you doing? And he's like,
I fell.
I fell over.
Yeah.
Doctors and nurses calmly did their jobs after a gunman stormed the hospital where they work.
What was that one?
Doctors and nurses calmly did their jobs after a gunman stormed the hospital where they work. So the gunman entered a Bronx, Lebanon hospital centre, killing a doctor and shooting 6 other people.
Oh shit.
Despite their anguish, medical staff worked around the clock to treat the injured.
Oh, that's horrendous.
It's rough, like, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, that's coming back to the whole we didn't get to them, but oh my god.
I just think it's crazy that, like, why would you go into a hospital and shoot people?
There's just some really...
Do you know what I mean? Like,
horrible people, but at the same time, there's also people that are really mentally ill.
I just think it's crazy. Like, hospital, I mean...
Yeah.
You shouldn't go anywhere, but I think hospital would be, like, the place you'd be sort of...
You just leave them alone, it's bad enough. I don't think I need you in there.
Unless, of course, they've, done that initial thing in his liver. Remember? Okay.
Okay.
The guy that.
Oh, the
Bruce
initial.
Nichols.
Oh god, that was horrible.
Yeah, maybe he
Yeah.
did that. And he was like, "Oh, he's in here."
Yeah.
And then went to kill him.
Wrong doctor. But no, you know what I mean. It's horrible. Like.
There's the doctors. A teacher subdued a gunman at her high school in Illinois. Lives were saved by the quick response of a teacher here, and I think that's what needs to be noted. Jeff Branson, chief of the Mattoon Police Department, said in the news conference.
Good.
Angela McQueen is her name.
Oh, really? Cool.
It's kind of cool.
Get the name out there because I don't know who the shooter was, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
You want the people that actually
Yeah.
were good. You don't really need to make them famous as some of them want to be or whatever.
Yeah. Another one here about a gunman. An usher confronted a gunman who opened fire at a church in Tennessee.
Dear.
Robert Engel, 22 he was.
The usher?
Brave.
Brave.
Subdued a gunman who opened fire at the Burnett Chapel Church. Oh, trying to say that when you're a bit drunk. The Burnett Chapel Church of Christ near Nashville. Chief Steve Anderson of the Metropolitan. Yeah, Mr. Engel's actions helped end the shooting, which is kind of crazy. I mean, you're 22 years old.
Yeah, you got your whole life ahead of you. But then at the same time, if you let him keep going, how many people are going to die?
Yeah, but at the same time, like, it's crazy just to think about. Like, you maybe don't even think. Or you just like run for it and go, that's it.
See, that's the thing. In all these cases, I'm wondering how much thought is there, or how much thought is there to like you don't. I don't know. Like, as I
can't
say,
imagine there is much of a thought process. Like,
if you see someone like fall down, your thought isn't, oh no, what happened there? It's you go over and see what's wrong.
yeah.
But obviously, these are extreme scenarios.
Yeah, well, if you see a guy with a gun pointing at you, wouldn't go, I'm going to run towards him.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
To the snake.
Yeah, do the Mac.
Yeah. Hopefully, he can't shoot you.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are also cool.
I've got one more here.
Go.
About 9/11.
Oh,
well,
no.
it's not about 9/11. It's
Yeah.
the worst terror attack since. A police officer in the New York City's worst terror attack since 9/11.
Boston bombing?
No, it was the what that was like after that, was it not? That was
After
like
9/11?
yeah.
We're not talking about 9/11? Like after
Yeah,
9/11?
well, since 9/11, apparently this is one of the worst
Bigger
one of the worst terror attacks. Yeah.
Okay.
Shot and injured the terrorist who had used a rented truck to kill 8 people and injure 12 others in Lower Manhattan.
I don't remember that.
No.
No.
I think it was on. I don't think it was on our news, but it was on Twitter. Yeah.
Scary.
I just think it's mad that anybody would even try and do that.
No, I don't like those marauding attacks, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Where they drive like vehicles into things.
Yeah. I got one more. You'll like this one. You like
Okay.
this one, okay? So, Mali.
Mali?
Mm-hmm.
The country?
No. A Belgian Malinois badly. It's a wee doggy.
Okay.
It's like a German Shepherd type of thing, I think.
Yeah.
Injured by shrapnel, was awarded the Dickin Medal.
Okay.
Britain's highest award for animal bravery for helping to sniff out Taliban militants and their booby traps.
Oh, so it's a British dog? Good dog.
Yeah, good dog. It says here that the Dickin Medal has been awarded 69 times.
I need to stop. That's enough. Never give another one.
Since it was established in 1943, its recipients include 32 pigeons.
So the Dickin Medal has been received 69 times. Perfect. That is perfect.
You're a terrible person.
They just know that's perfect. They don't need to do any more of those.
32 pigeons, 32 dogs, 4 horses, and 1 cat.
Good.
I don't think a cat ever deserves a medal, but
I wonder what it did. But I'm glad the dog won it, so that's good. How many dogs?
32.
32.
And
Out of 69, so that's almost like...
Yeah.
It's like a third. It's class. Good dogs.
Well, 32 pigeons and 32 dogs. Good.
Wait, no, that's over. That's a third. What am I on about? It's like half. So those together are like the vast majority.
Yeah, and there's 4 horses and 1
Pigeons
cat.
would have been the war, I reckon.
Yeah, with the
Carrier.
carrier
message.
pigeons.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah, that is class. I've got one more wee thing, I suppose, that'll finish my part. In fact, sorry, I've got one more thing and then a website I want to tell people about.
okay.
So, I found a wee thing that's called Our Illusions of Role Models, Heroes and Idols. So basically, the article, I won't read it, obviously it's entirety because that's boring, but it basically summarises
It's been
how...
84 years.
Basically, it goes through those that they inspire, people that inspire and reassure us, and then also those that are ordinary people, but both can be worthy, but some of them are also flawed. So we've already spoken about how, as young children, the first sort of people you look up to are your parents, and then as you grow up, you sort of realise that they're people as well, and then whenever you're a teenager, a young kid, you sort of look maybe at more like sporting people or musicians or just famous people, actors, singers, whatever.
Yeah. It's weird how that works though for everyone, isn't it?
But I think well, that's just my opinion. It's not in the article. It's a bit of a deviation. But I think people like those sort of people because they're rich. They have all the things they want, and as a young person or a teenager or whatever, you think that is gonna be what you want.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
Well, I did wish I was in Metallica, so
yeah, that would be class.
yeah, it'd be nice. Not anymore, but no, it would be nice.
But it would have been cool
Then,
to be able to
yeah.
say you were in it.
Yeah.
But basically, they would. You would care about them to a point, and then whenever you became an adult, you might still admire them, but it's not the same reverence. Like, for example, I don't see anywhere in your room right now where there's a poster of someone, of you being like, oh, like I am like you're the one. Like there's no picture of like, I don't know, Bill Clinton on your wall.
Well,
not anymore, anyway. But what do you
how did they got down? He was scaring me at night time.
But
I did not.
But basically it seems to sort of change as you're an adult from maybe not so much saying, oh, my idol's Ronaldo or Messi or David De Gea or I don't know, Loris Karius. You're not really them anymore. You sort of go towards the world leaders, politicians, the philosophers, the people that you see that can make
a difference.
In the world. Yeah. So you sort of want them to be, and even just their personality traits can drag adults in. Basically, strong leaders, people like that there. Like, for example, you might like someone that I don't, and vice versa. So, like, it doesn't make them any less of a role model. It's really irrelevant.
That's all it is.
It's like with anything else. It's in the eye of the beholder, and I think in that way as well. But one thing I suppose this article touches on, just obviously to get it over, is that nobody's perfect at all. Even the people you look up to, if you read their biographies, you'll find out they have the same issues.
Everybody makes
mistakes. Exactly. Everybody does stupid things. Basically, there's a nice wee sort of short paragraph here. Each of us is a metaphor for our species. At our best, we humans are benevolent and inspiring, but we can also be benighted and destructive.
Yeah.
So basically, just to finish this sort of part, it says that we need these figureheads or these idols to give us some stability during challenging or frenetic times. So it's nice whenever you're having a hard time to be able to look at someone, like, for example, I don't know, looking at the likes of, this is a really stupid example, but it's the first one that's came to my head and I can't get it out of my head now.
Oh dear.
If you look at the likes of like J-Lo and all that, those singers that come from nowhere and now they're like
Jay from the Block?
Yeah. That's what was in my head and I couldn't get it out.
Jay from the Block.
That's exactly it. That's what was in my head.
Yeah.
So,
but she's not Jenny from the Block.
Not anymore.
No.
But she
she still is, though, she says.
She says. That's what she says. But you know what I mean?
I'm still Jenny from the Block with about $90 million in the bank account, but,
And none of you are getting it.
Yeah.
But those people, like, if you look at them in times where you're like, oh, I'm really hard time right now, but they've done this too.
Yeah.
It sort of gives you that comfort that you might need.
Yeah.
But basically, it says, another quick line that all-encompassing worship of any one person will inevitably lead to disappointment.
Yeah.
We could admire and even emulate aspects of accomplished or outstanding people, but hero worship and attributing them unrealistic personal traits or powers is a fool's errand destined to disappoint. So I don't think that's in any way sort of saying don't have a hero. What I took from it anyway was it's fine to have a hero, but remember they are human, and they're not Superman or Captain America or whatever. They might be in a film, but that doesn't mean they are in real life.
Well, that's why people get so, like, that whole James Gunn incident, sure, with absolute stupid, like.
Yeah.
But it's true, like, everyone has a past, and everyone has made mistakes prior to, wherever they are in the celebrity sort of hierarchy now, like, so.
No, for sure, exactly, and
but you should
people will make mistakes going forwards, and that's just life, I think. And because they're in the public eye, they are held to a higher standard, which I think is fair enough.
but
We
it
do
comes
need
with the
to-
territory, doesn't it?
yep.
So
And we do need to remember they are just people. And I suppose the wee website I was talking about. This is my last thing. You'll notice, obviously, if you read the news, it's all horrible. So there's a really good website. It's got really nice stories on it all the way down. It's called the Good News Network. Google it, or you can type in goodnewsnetwork.org. It comes up with some really nice stories, just uplifting ones. You can look up the good news. You can look up. There's like a little like talk part. You can look up good talks. You can read stuff. And then there's another thing called good gifts. You can look at all that yourself. But
basically, it's all good.
yeah, it's
There's not
nothing-
one negative thing
exactly
on that website.
exactly. Like one of my we were flicking earlier on through it, and there's one here. Beer delivery man prevents suicide on a bridge by offering a cold one.
Brilliant.
And there's a picture of the guy and the other guy, and basically you can see in the background is a big Coors Light truck. So and just nice wee stories like that. 80-year-old man rescues drowning boy only to find that he saved the kid's father 30 years earlier.
I think it's class.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
So if ever you're looking at the news going, oh my word, everything's so bad and crap, just go on the Good News Network.
It's great. I was looking at some earlier on. They're just absolutely brilliant.
It's
It's a lot better than our local news anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we'll leave it there, folks.
Yeah, that's
and
my stuff.
hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you in the next one.
Yeah, be a hero.
Be a hero. Save a dog.
Bye.
Bye.